Righto. Now I'm just going to continue my cutting back. Now I'm going to do 2 more passes. Two more passes. I'm hoping I can I know it looks a bit silly wearing the camera on my head, but it's okay to look silly, but provide a good camera view. So I don't take myself that serious where I'm worried about how it looks. That ship sailed a long time ago. At 58, sometimes you start to not give a fuck about a few things. I've got about another hour and a half on this. Then I start jeffs. I spray jeffs, glass it. Get this all ready for the weekend so I can go surfing. There we go. So that's a few passes there with the 1200. Now I've got to flip it over and start all over again. Now the GoPro camera, this thing is amazing. It gives such good clarity in the view. Now when I do my transmissions on my phone, I just go to my phone, I click this GoPro and I click live stream. I've got it all set up so it goes to YouTube, it goes to my website, it goes to Facebook, and what it does is it gets stored obviously on Facebook, but YouTube, and on my website it streams live. So if you went to pieter.com.au, and as soon as it's going to be Pieter. What is it? Pieter AU. I'm dropping the .com. I got the new website. So if you went there, you'd see this on my page getting streamed live. So just for the people that haven't got a YouTube or don't want to watch YouTube. And I do not begrudge people if they don't want to do that. Okay? And that's the whole idea of streaming to my website. Now I only press 5 buttons to get that happening. I learned how to do it. Took a long time, but I remember one person wanted to charge me $8,000 to set that up. And I went, So it cost me nothing, it's free. Yeah, so it doesn't cost me a cent, apart from the camera. Because YouTube now allows you to do the live, so I do it through this device, and really good. Eventually I'll get up to the 1,000 subscribers, but it's no drama. If I don't, I don't. I'm not gonna slash my wrist if I don't. Now I put the bigger logo on this because the Frankenstein is such a big graphic. I thought my logo has to be on par, so from a distance they're going to see that this is a Pieter board, or Pieter as I'm nicknamed. Yeah, so I'm happy to do the live streaming like this, because when you're trying to learn, the point of view from the camera over there doesn't quite show you as much as this one from my head. So you'll see what it's like. And remember, the GoPro is what they use in Formula 1 too, and all those sports. So GoPro really are set up to do this quite well. This is the Frankenstein model. 9.6 by 24 by 3.5. So it's quite thick. It's got the thickness. This board's all about paddle power, but because it's got the good rocker, it will surf well. Lightweight blank, just my pink. And it's just 6 bottom, 2 6s on top, so it's glassed reasonably light, standard. If you hit it hard enough, it will dent, but it's a surfboard, but it will perform quite well because it's not too heavy. It's a fine line with weight when you want a performance board, and But if you get a chance, like go to the website, have a look at the view, or go to YouTube, and you'll be quite surprised. It does look good. Righto, next one. 800. Can't wait to start buffing. It will look brilliant. There we go. Now this being such a thick board, it has a very big rail. So there's a lot more area going from the top of the rail down to the apex. So I do have to wet and dry a bit further with the pad because it drops over so far. There's a fair bit of distance. I'm pretty excited about the next board I'm doing too. It's for Jeff. It's only got 2 layers of 4 top and bottom. It's a lightweight model. 10-foot seagull. And it's sanded finish. And it's going to have the texture deck. And so I used to do those finishes all the time, the sanded finish on my HPs, but I just went to polish now. But just occasionally I'll get, you know, one model where someone will want that old finish. I find if I spend the time cutting back, the polishing's a lot easier, so I'm hoping this should be good. The finish coat is good. Apparently a few of the boys down at Bingy are looking forward to seeing this board, have been watching, so a shout out and g'day to the guys down there on the south coast. I hope you've enjoyed, you know, seeing the board get made. Just to see what worked, and they're all the same, they've all got the same amount of work in them. It never gets any different. But one of the things that I'm trying to do with my label is I've made every single Peter board from my first one to this current one. No one else has glassed them or sanded them or polished them or anything. I've done every single board. So I'm up to 35 years now, and I know there's a couple of companies, 60 years, but what they are is they pay other people to make their boards. I'm going for a different thing. I'm going for, you know, if I can get another 20 years, I'm going for the 60 years of only person making my boards, because that's a different thing. Not many people are out there doing it. They send them off to glass shops or they get someone else to shape it or something. Whereas I do it all. When I first started my pieter label up again, in a sense, with the new sticker, I actually done the screen printing. I had a master screen printer teach me how to do it, did all the artwork, did all the screens, made the screens, and printed all my own decals because I watched him do it when I worked at this other place. And so it truly was 100% made by me. I used to make all my own fins. Then I decided to get only Australian-made fins for the shorties and things like that, where I get them made by Australian Fin Co. So there we go. So none of this shit from China that these other companies use, FCS, Futures and all that shit. I just wanted to do an Australian made fin or fins. As well, they're polished as well, because all the shit coming in from China has got the satin finish. So I just wanted to distance myself from mainstream surfboard making, especially with all the shit China's causing in the world, and I don't want to support that sort of regime. And I've been saying it for years, and look what's happening now. So all these companies that get made in China, they support what's happening in the Pacific Islands at the moment. So every time you buy a product from any company, especially a surf brand, that makes stuff in China, you're supporting the Communist Party's policy in the Pacific. That's putting it a bit harsh, but that's why. But the sad news was, I heard today or yesterday, that Surf Aids is shut down. Dennis sold it, and then another mob took it over, and it's now shut down. So I won't be able to get my Australian-made covers anymore. But yeah, and the company, apparently the new owner's done a runner. A few people had money and orders in, and they did a runner, as well as all my templates. I'm pissed off about that. So I'd like a please explain there. Getting there. Righto, 4 more passes. Then I start buffing. Slow and steady. tell you what, I'm happy with this board. The shape of it, I'm a child of the 80s in the sense of my favourite surfboards. I believe the best surfboards, my favourite shaper at the time, and the most influential boards I've ever made were 1984 Hockey, Rusty, and those flat, thick, chunky Rusties that he made. Now, for my opinion, I think they're the best surfboards ever made for the average shortboarder. You see all these people trying to surf now on these things that pros are riding, and they're so undersized. The average surfer, I think, has taken a really bad hit on performance shortboarding. And compared to the 80s, there were so many good average surfers around in the mid-80s, and the board just rode all the way to the beach. It was unreal, you know, and you could still do power surfing. Hockey was the example, and Tom Carroll, but those boards, Sean Thompson said, yeah, Rusty, you can't fall off them. And that's the thing, you know, like, they were such a forgiving board, and I do believe they were the best shortboards ever made. Because if you go and watch the old footage of Hockey in 1984, what he was doing, and the power, and those big hacks, I'm talking J-Bay, everything bells, you'll really see where he was at with his surfing, and the average surfer surfs so much better on those boards. I mentioned that to Rusty one day. You know, I said, mate, I remember that someone said that you can't fall off them, and he was yeah, he was, yep, that's right, I remember that. Sean Thompson said it. Now, there's only one thing I've got to do. I've got to go because I've got to call Kim because I've got to go and get some polish.